Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the full practice. This week, we're working with the theme of patience. So I'm going to take us to quiet centering where I'll go over some inspirational quotes on patience. And then I'll go ahead and weave this theme into our practice today, which we're going to focus on hamstrings and hips. And if this is something you like, please subscribe because I do a different class every week with a different theme and a different focus. So to get started, just take your hands to your sides for a moment and just notice, can you engage the muscles you're sitting on, or what we call mula bandha? It means root lock. It's just the pelvic floor engaged. And then above that, below the belly button, draw the belly in and get a sense of lift. It's called Uddiyana Bandha, and it means flying upward. And then at the top of the spine, just draw the chin down, Jalandhara Bandha, or chin lock. And now that seals in the energy of the bandhas so that you're supported from within and you can release the hands. And then from here, close your eyes, and with the bandhas engaged, just begin to focus on your breath. And I want you to breathe into the rib cage and feel the rib cage fully expand. And then as you exhale, feel the rib cage relax. Do that again. Big breath in, feel the expansion. And then exhale, feel the rib cage relax. And one more time, big breath in and exhale. Let's take the hands to prayer position by the heart, and we'll vibrate together in Om, and then I'll go through the quotes. Inhale. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. The trees that are slow to grow bear the best fruit. Patience is not about waiting. It's about trusting the process and staying present while things unfold. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Skill comes with patience, persistence, and a willingness to fall and get back up again. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Patience. I'm getting better at this as I age. I used to really push myself and be in a hurry to achieve things, but now I'm really trying to focus on softening rather than forcing, and listening rather than striving, so I can really be in the moment and just get the most out of this practice. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll come over to all fours, and we'll just start with some gentle stretches for the back and for the shoulders, and pull the belly in and pull the belly way in, and we're going to round the back. So now we're stretching the back. And now as we come forward, we're engaging the back and maybe stretching across the shoulders and maybe across the belly, across the sternum, and then exhale and round. Feel the back stretch. And now inhale, come forward and feel the back engage and the front body open. And then come to neutral. And then from here, tuck the toes under, pull the belly in, and really reach back. So I'm bending my knees here so I can get a really nice stretch across the shoulders. And so I'm not this far forward with my shoulders. I'm trying to push back and get my back really lengthened. And I'm bending my knees to get more out of that. And then as I start to straighten the legs, I feel the calves, maybe some hamstrings, bend the knees, and you can straighten a few times. And then we're going to very slowly start to walk up. You might feel the hamstrings here, and if they're tight, that's okay. You can bend the knees, but come up, come up, come up, and then just let your body hang for a moment. Try your best to straighten your legs, but if they're a little bent right now, that's okay. Just warming up. Let's go ahead and grab the elbows and just let your head hang. And notice, can you engage the front of the legs and really feel some stretch in the back? And then we're going to slowly release the hands. You could soften your knees for this roll up because it stretches the back as we round. So pull the belly in, and we come all the way up. Let the shoulders fall into place. And then just pause for a moment. And then we're going to step together for Samasthiti, standing still and straight, ready to begin our sun salutations. But before I do, just to let you know, I always practice with 2 yoga blocks and a little towel. But you could use a yoga belt or a dish towel, or you don't have to use anything. Here we go. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. As you fold, feel the low back engage so the hamstrings really stretch the back of the legs. You want to really feel that. Let the hands come down. Inhale, lengthen. And then go ahead and let's take it back to a plank. So I always like to take this first plank especially and really find it so I'm not sagging, my butt's not sticking out, the tail is under, the ribs are in, and I'm protracting across the shoulders so I'm not scrunched. I'm really finding that. Then I'm going to come down to my knees to give myself a little adjustment and make it a little easier to lower down so I can keep that body line and rise up. And then I'm going to come through. Here's upward facing dog. Feel the shoulders draw down, and there's a sense of width, even though they're coming a little close together. If you can, lift the knees, feel the tail under, and then exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Inhale. As you breathe, really pull the belly in, really reach. Inhale. And exhale. And again, nice long breaths. Reaching through the arms, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Trying to reach my heels down as best I can. And then very slowly make your way up. And just notice what's going on in your body as you do each movement. And then fold. Inhale, lengthen, and rise. Reaching, and exhale, hands down. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, and exhale. And from here, inhale, lengthen, and then let's take it back. Hold the plank for a moment. Try to maintain this line as you lower, lower. And only go as far down as you feel like you can support that. Come up and inhale here. Shoulders draw down. There's a sense of width. Lift the sternum, tail under, and take it back. And breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. Notice, can you feel the back of the legs opening up a little bit? Maybe shoulders. Inhale, opening. Inhale. Keep the lift of your belly. And one more breath. And from here, let's slowly walk up, coming to the front of your mat, pulling the belly in, and folding. Inhale, lengthen, and reach. And exhale, hands down. Now we're going to go to Surya Namaskar B. I'm going to use the blocks here. They just give me a little bit of height, bending the knees, and that makes my practice lighter. Inhale, exhale, fold. And then inhale, lengthen. And let's go ahead. I'm going to lightly hop back, but you don't have to. You could step back, find the plank, and lower. Keeping that line. And rise. And come forward. Lengthen here. The sternum lifts, the tail is under. And take it back. Let's go ahead and step forward into a lunge. So the right leg lifts up. And we start to rise up. Let's bend the back knee for a moment. Let's take the hands on the low rib cage right here. And I'm drawing that tail under. So I'm using these muscles under the butt, some hamstrings here, and I'm really feeling this stretch here. And then we're going to slowly straighten, but at the same time, keep those muscles engaged, those hamstrings, right? And one more time, bend, start to straighten. And now let's go ahead and find these angel arms so the shoulders are drawing together, but still they're widening. And you're reaching, and at some point, go for the full expression. And then inhale, rise up. You can really feel the back work, the legs work, and step back. And when everything's working together, you're supported. And then lower, and rise. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, taking it back. Left side, inhale, lift that left leg up. We're gonna bend the back knee, take that butt under, feel those hamstrings back there as you start to straighten it. I have my thumbs in my low ribs, and then do it again. Bend and start to straighten. One more time, bend, hold, feel the engagement. Now try those angel arms so the shoulders are down, and get a sense of width as you start to straighten, actively straighten that back leg. And then at some point, really reach, reach, reach. And it's always fun to find the full expression of the pose. Everything's working together. And step back. And let's go ahead and lower. And rise. And come through. And when you really break it down, there's so many benefits in these sun salutations. And downward facing dog. But that's only when you really slow it down and really listen and understand it. Breathe. And exhale. And a couple more breaths. And now find a focus if you want to try it lightly hopping up or walk up. I'm going to lightly lift up and down because I'm working on that. I'm working on trying to find some lightness there. Bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Let's do one more. Bend the knees, reach the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Let's go ahead and take it back, light. And you could step back always and lower and rise and come through. Shoulders down, feel that sternum lift up, tail is under, and take it back. Let's step the right foot forward, this time for warrior one. So the back foot is down. Feel that under the butt muscle there though, as you reach up, breathe. And then inhale, rising, and reach again. Take the hands down, stepping back. Let's go ahead and lower. And rise, and come through. Upward facing dog, make the most out of it. And downward facing dog. Let's step the left foot forward, lift it up there. Back foot down, feel the under the butt muscle on that right side as you reach the arms up. Lift up to go back. And rising, and reaching, and then stepping back, and we'll lower again. And then rise, and come through. Lifting the sternum, tail is under, everything's working. And downward facing dog. And breathe here, inhale. And exhale. Notice, are you starting to feel a little bit more open? The hamstrings are lengthening. The shoulders are opening, breathing. And then find your gaze point and feel like you're pushing down with your arms to lift your hips up and then put them down and fold. Bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Pause for a moment. Samasatihi, standing still and straight. And then let's take the feet hip width. Now, take a moment to notice how you're standing. We all have our tendencies. Some people do an anterior tilt where they stick the butt out. Some people tend to hang out maybe in a posterior tilt. So just notice, a good gauge is your pubic bone and belly button. Notice where they are in relation to each other. Let's try a gentle roll down. So I want you to round your spine as you roll down. And I want you to think about the hamstrings, the back of the legs. So you're going to round down. Pull the belly in as you do this. So you're supported. Rounding, pull the belly in. And then at some point, you get down as far as you can, just grab the elbows. And then from here, keep pulling the belly in. It's okay if your thighs go back a little if you need to do that to straighten your legs. But maybe you don't need to do that. And then just let your head hang and get a feeling that your elbows are pulling down to the floor and the belly is pulling in. And this hip crease is getting deeper. And then from here, let's go ahead and feel what this feels like with a nice lengthened spine. So take your hands somewhere on your shins or your legs and look up and lengthen. Now I want you to stick the butt out. When you do that, your hamstrings are attached to your ischial tuberosities or your sitting bones. So when you lift them and engage your back, you're going to stretch them even more. And then it won't be tugging on your low back. So inhale here. Now keep that as we deepen this hip crease. And now slowly just let your spine round forward, your upper spine. And you don't have to take your head all the way to your legs, but just take it to a place where you're feeling nice length and engagement in the front. And then inhale, let's lengthen again. So make sure the low back's engaged, reach. And you should be feeling the hamstrings now as you rise up and the hips nice and steady. Reach and exhale. Let's come to Samasthiti. So now I'm going to set up for some standing poses. I'm going to put a block in the front and a block in the back. And we're going to go ahead and step out. Let's take a nice wide Trikonasana. So the back foot turns in. You feel a little bit of internal rotation and the front leg turns out. Inhale here, exhale, reach. I'm going to move my block so it's under my armpit. And I'm feeling some inner thighs, but some hamstrings too on that right side as I reach up, and a nice side body on this left side. Reach up, breathe, breathe. And then from here, let's go ahead and reach the arm. You feel side body here and start to bend your front knee. You might need to adjust your feet. Bend your front knee. And you might need to adjust where the block is if you're using it. Or you could be up here. Breathe and start to turn those ribs. And be light on this hand. See if you can use the hips here. And then inhale, let's rise up, but stay in the position. So now we're in Warrior Two. Inhale, nice strong Warrior Two, breathing, strong hips, strong and open. And then rise up, go to the other side. Turn your right foot in, left foot out, reach. Notice, are you feeling a nice stretch in this front leg? Take your hand down so it's under the armpit. Reach the right arm up. So I'm feeling the stretch in the back and the inside of that front leg, but I'm also feeling some side body. And then let's go ahead and reach and start to bend the front knee. You might need to adjust. You could be here or here. Breathe. Now let's see if you can lighten up with that weight and that left arm and really use the legs as you rise up, or the hips. You feel that as we come into Warrior Two. Keep the lift of your belly, breathe, inhale, and then rise up. And from here, let's turn for Prasarita Padottanasana. This one really gets the hamstrings, but the outer hamstrings maybe a little more. So inhale, exhale, go ahead and feel this deep hip crease as you find the low back engaged, and we're not rounding. Now take the hands down. Now start to come into like a down dog version where you reach the arms. You're kind of melting the heart a little bit. Engage the front of the leg so you really feel the stretch in the back. Try to lift your sitting bones up a little bit. Breathe. And then from here, let's start to walk in. We'll do the yogi toe lock. First two fingers, big toes. The thumb comes around. Use your back muscles to pull your head down. You could have your head on a block at this point. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathe, straighten your legs. If your hips are back, see if you can pull them a little forward. And then inhale, lengthen. Let's take the hands on the waist and rise up. Let's turn the feet out for goddess pose. So turn the feet out, and rather than just sticking the butt out, keep that neutral spine as best you can and try to come straight down, and try to open the knees. So really getting a lot of work in the hips here and a lot of openings too. I feel my inner thighs really stretch here. Breathe. Keep the lift of your belly. Keep breathing, and rise up. And then let's turn to face the right foot. So a variation of Parsvottanasana. The back leg turns in and hips are facing the same direction. Let's inhale, reach up. Take the hands behind the head and feel that sense of lift. And then we're going to start to come forward. So it's a hinge, right? We're engaged in the low back, just enough for support. And then rise up. Feel how you have to really work the back of that front leg. And come forward again. Really feel it in the glutes. And then from here, we're gonna feel the hamstrings now as we now drop into it. Keep pulling your right butt back. Engaging the front leg, really find that. A lot of balance. And then inhale, lengthen, and rise up. Now we're gonna take it to Parivrtta Trikonasana. Notice how the stretch in the hamstrings changes more to the outside of the front leg of the right leg. So inhale, reach. And then you feel the hamstrings, but now as you come across, maybe you feel the outer hamstrings a little bit more and start to turn, and lengthen the crown of your head away from the tailbone so you get really long spine as you turn. And then inhale, feel the legs, and rise up. And let's pivot to the other side. So inhale here, taking the hands behind the head, start to come forward. Feel the deep hip crease on that left side. And then feel how you use your legs, your glutes, your hamstrings, rise up. And then we'll go back down. Inhale here, exhale, fold. And just go to where it feels okay in your body and you feel balanced. Breathe, engaging the front of the leg to stretch the back. Inhale and rise up. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Reaching your right arm. Feel the outer hamstring in the left leg as you reach and take the hand down. And then start to turn and notice where you feel the stretch now. Breathing, opening. Keep pulling your left butt back and you'll feel even more length. And rise up. Inhale. And we'll step up to Samasatihi. And now let's go through some Udhita Hasta Padangustasana standing poses for balance. So when we're balancing on one leg, the standing leg is doing the work, right? So you want to really feel this left leg really strong. And I would use a wall because you can go deeper. Go ahead and bend your right knee into your chest and just notice the muscles that are working here. Try not to have your butt out or under, nice neutral. Now use the wall because you'll probably go deeper. Grab your big toe, the yogi toe lock, and straighten your leg. And then notice, can you come forward? And if your knee is bent and you're just coming forward a little, that's okay. And maybe you find, you want to play around with that balance. Now we're going to open it out. Feel what the hips do. This right hip starts to really open, but the left leg is still really working. And then maybe you want to take this somewhere really expressive. And then we'll come back. Now I want you to let go. See if you can really find that external rotation. And we'll take the leg here. And again, let's just take the hands to prayer position. Maybe your focus is a little down. And stay here for a moment and just feel the stability. And then we'll go to the other side. So the wall's always there. It's your friend. So let the left leg bend, push down through this right foot and feel the energy in this hip, leg, everything is working. Pull the knee in. Now yogi toe lock, you could use the wall. Extend the leg as best you can and come forward if you can and breathe and play around with that wall. Are you using it a lot? And rise up. And then notice what happens. It changes as you open into external rotation. For me, it just feels really nice sometimes to back bend here. It's like full expression. And then release that. And just play. Let's come into tree. Find a gaze point. Hopefully you're feeling pretty steady here. Breathe. And everything comes down. So when everything is working together, you find balance. It's so wonderful. But it takes patience. You have to slowly learn. The body has to learn. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. I'm going to use my blocks again here. And then let's go ahead and take it back to down dog. And just notice, how does the down dog feel now as opposed to the beginning of class? And then we're going to make our way up. So just cross. This is something I'm working on, Lolasana. You could just come down to the floor. lift, and come down. And Dandasana. And from Dandasana, we're going to come into Paschimottanasana, the stretch of the west, or the back, the hamstrings. So notice if you're sitting in Dandasana, some of us, if the hamstrings are tight, we might be curled back. You want to try and lift those sitting bones and sit way up. So maybe you need to bend the knees to do that. And if that's the case, that's all right. But see if you can find that first. You could also sit up on a block or a prop, right? Or a bolster. I'm going to use this little towel. So if the hamstrings are tight, you could use this, bend the knees, get your low back engaged, then start to straighten your legs and see where you can take it, really engaging the front of the legs. And maybe from here you could just drop the head. Or some of you are fine here. Some of you might be able to grab a wrist or interlace your hands and just surrender here. But see if you can engage the front of the legs so that you really get a lot of strength in the back of the legs, the hamstrings. And then inhale, lengthen, and start to rise up. And from here, let's go ahead. Hopefully that felt good. You really feel that stretch. Let's bend the knees for a moment and go nice and wide. We're gonna work on the hips a little bit. So let your pelvis curl back. And from here, we're just gonna do gentle sways. Just notice, can you be really gentle in this hip socket? Internally rotate the top hip, externally rotate the bottom hip. So we come back. So you feel that. The left one's internally rotating, the right one's externally rotating. Just notice. Can you do that really with freedom and ease? So go slow if you have to, and then come back. Now we're gonna work our way into pigeon pose, but first we're gonna do a little prep drill called 90-90. So the front leg is gonna be at 90, and 90 degrees, and the back leg's gonna be at 90 degrees. And then you might find, I'm really sitting on that right hip. That's okay. You could use your hands to boost yourself up. You could also sit on a block. Feel the internal rotation of this left leg. Really let that turn in. Now we're gonna come into a forward fold. You could use your block to get some height if you needed to. So we're just trying to reach over the knee and try to push the butt down, the right butt down. At the same time, you're pushing your chest down, and just reach and breathe. If everything's going well and you want to try, you can move your block a little bit more to the middle. Breathe. Just notice where you're feeling it on your right side body. And then inhale, we're going to rise up. And from here, we're going to take it into pigeon pose, but be super careful because a lot of people feel knee pain when they do this. So I want you to really pay attention to that. You could also do this stretch again if pigeon was too hard. So we're gonna take the right leg in at more of an angle, but you want your knee in alignment with your hip. And then I'm gonna tuck the back toes under and lift up. So I'm lifting up. Now I'm gonna use the block, but I'm gonna put it under my right butt. You could even have the block higher if that was necessary. And then I'm going to turn the back hip. I'm turning. So now I feel hip flexors on this back leg. And adjust your front leg so that your shin is in a position that your knee doesn't hurt and you're getting the best stretch you can. You could use your block here too if you wanted some height. Sometimes that's nice. And come just straight forward. Really reach. Really reach. Trying to push your butt down. You should be feeling, it's all in the glutes, the hips. Reach, reach, breathing, deep breath, inhale. Feel the rib cage fill up, exhale. See if you can find release. Soften, listen, trust its patience, and rise up. If you wanted to stay longer, you could always pause the video if you were getting a lot out of that. We're gonna take it a little further. So now I wanna see if you could use your block if you needed to. Can you come off this block and lift yourself up? Can you do that? Maybe here. Maybe you can lift up. You're really engaging the muscles now. Lift up. And And then from here, we're gonna take this whole thing to the other side. So come back to that 90-90. I'll take my blocks over to the other side. We're gonna lean back. See if you can do it with no hands. And we find it on the other side. So just take your time here. 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Feel the internal rotation, lift up. And then inhale here. We'll start to come forward. First, more in the direction of the knee. Just feel that length. And I'm trying to push that butt down, push my chest down. And then maybe you want to take it a little bit more to the middle. And notice, are you feeling it in that outer hip? You might be feeling some side body too. Reach, reach. And then slowly rising up. Now we're gonna find ourselves in that pigeon prep pose. So we're gonna pull this left foot in, tuck the back toes under, and lift up. And from here, I'm gonna take the block under my left butt. You could have it on any level. And then I'm gonna play around with this back leg for a moment, just turning it in, taking the tail under so I feel hip flexors here. And then when I found the right spot, I'm gonna take it forward. Just forward. And breathe. And really reaching and breathing. And just take it to where you feel good. You could even stay up quite high. You just take it to where it feels good in your body. And then inhale. We're gonna start to rise up. You could use your block here and lift up off of it. Or maybe you could take one arm, all variations, and lift up. And this is nice because I'm really engaging the hips at the same time. Now we're gonna come back. So find your 90-90. I'm gonna take the blocks back. And you could use your hands if you needed to, but maybe come back. And then we'll find ourselves in seated. And from here, let's go ahead and pull the right knee in. So this is hip flexion as you pull your knee to the armpit. Just feel that, a Padottanasana. It's okay if you curl back a little here. And then from here, we're gonna take it to Janu Sirsasana. So you could just take your foot to your inner thigh. Let's take a little twist to the right, turning. It's nice on the low back. And then inhale, come to the center. Now we're gonna come to Janu Sirsasana, which can be a nice stretch in the QLs and the low back, but also the hamstrings. So if you needed to, if your hamstrings are tight, you could use your prop and straighten, or you could hold your foot. Some of you can grab your right wrist and really give that right side a little pull, a little love. Really straighten the left leg. And then inhale, lengthen, and rise up. Now we'll go to the other side. So bend the left leg, pull the knee to the armpit, pull back. Really feel that. And my pelvis is curled back. It's hip flexion, bending in the hip. And then take the leg for Janu Sirsasana. It's always nice to do a little twist here. So turning, I feel these QL, this quadratus laborum on the right side, the hip where it connects to the back. It's really awesome. And then come around. And now Janu Sirsasana. So if you're using the towel, you could bend the knee and then start to straighten, and then lengthen. Some of you can grab a wrist and really, whatever position you're doing, try to pull from that left side so you really get the low back as well as the hamstrings and the front leg. Breathe. And then inhale, lengthen, and rise up. Dandasana. And now we're gonna make our way over to our knees. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cross the legs. And if this doesn't hurt your knees, come in this way. But if it does, just sit to your side and make your way over. I'm going to use my little towel as a pad. So I'm gonna put this under my left knee. We're gonna come into a series of Anjaneyasana. And since Anjaneya is the mother of Hanuman, we'll probably do that after. It's a great stretch for the hamstrings and for the hip flexors. So we'll start with the hamstring stretch. So make sure your weight is a little forward of your kneecap and not directly on it. And then flex your front foot and try to bend forward. Try not to let your hips be back. Your hip right over your knee as you come forward. Some of you might want to use blocks, but some of you might not need them. And just keep pulling. It's like I'm pulling my right butt back as I bend forward. A lot of hamstrings and calves. It feels good, especially if you pull the toes back. You really get the calves. Straighten that leg. Make sure it's straight. And then rise up. And from here, we're going to get the hip flexors in the back leg. So you have to use your hamstrings to tuck that butt under, come forward, and then you feel a lot of stretch here. And just notice that. And if you want to, it feels really nice to now take those angel arms so your shoulders are drawing down. There's a sense of widening as you reach, 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 reach. Inhale, rise up. We'll do that on the other side. So I'm just going to move my little towel. And remember, be a little forward of the kneecap, not right on it. Flex your foot. Try to have your hip, it's not back, right? It's right here. The femurs are right in alignment with the hip. As you come forward, you feel that fold deepen. You could walk your hands forward using the blocks or maybe the floor. Pull the toes back if you want to get more calves in addition to the hamstrings, and engage the muscles on the top of the leg. Breathe. And then inhale, rise. And from here, let's go ahead and bend the knee. Activate the muscles under the butt and that right leg. It's the hamstrings. And you push. And then start to really lift the sternum here. You should be feeling a nice hip flexor stretch on that right side. Now, if you wanted to add the arms, here we are. And if you wanted to go deeper, you could. Reach, 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 and rise. Such a beautiful pose. Let's go ahead and come into Hanuman. Now I'm going to take the towel and use it as a slider. So if you needed to, you could have a blanket on your back leg, but there shouldn't be a lot of pressure on your back knee. And you can use the blocks here to help support that. So I kind of lift up that knee and I make sure I'm on the front of it as we slowly start to slide out. Now, as you slide out, I want you to get a sense you're pulling that right femur or the right leg back so your hips aren't turning out. And you do it really controlled, really slowly. And we're going to make this a little easier. I want you to use a block. So it could be whatever height you need. I'm going to start here so that you have support. And whatever adjustment you need or whatever height you need, once you find it, pull that right hip back. Pull it back. And then you can point your back toe and really find that. And then from here, what does it feel like to maybe forward bend a little? Really feel the hamstrings, back of the leg, rise up. And then what does it feel like to maybe lift up a little? Up a little. Maybe both hands. And then slowly release. And then we're going to go ahead and take the block out. And we'll slowly come in. And we'll do the other side. So if that felt really hard and you couldn't go down very far, don't worry. You could even be up higher on a piece of furniture and not put anything under for support and just hold. So here's the other side. We're going to really take our time to turn that right hip in and tuck the butt under as we start to go forward. So I'm really trying to pull this butt under and most of all, really pull this hip back. So it's really finding that. Take your time. And then at some point you can point the toe and just feeling that. And then I'm going to take the block. You could put it on whatever height worked in your body and try and get that right butt under, really. And then we're going to take it into a forward fold. Notice you can feel the hamstrings when you do that. Rise up. And then we'll try and find the back bend. Maybe you can reach your arms. And slowly coming out. So maybe your split looks like this. That's okay. You're still benefiting. And that's the whole point, is we have to have patience in our bodies because everybody's so different. Let's come to seated. So taking the legs around, legs out in front. Let's do a nice slow roll back. So from Dandasana, just feel the belly pull way in. You're supported now, the legs are straight. We're stretching the spine as we pull the belly in. You could use your hands coming all the way down. Go ahead and let's bend the knees. So bridging or Setu Bandhasana really uses the hamstrings and the glutes. It's really nice. So take a breath in. Let's see if you can feel that. And lift up. Feel all those muscles that are working. Those are the muscles. Those are the hamstrings. We really focused on that. And the hips. And then come down. Let's do that again. And lift up. Now, see if you can grab the mat. Roll your shoulders open a bit, but not too much. The neck is long. And then from here, pull the right knee into your chest and reach up. Straight leg. Now go down. Lift up. Go down. You're really feeling this. And maybe a stretch in the hamstrings on the right leg. And up. And then come down. Let's do the other side. Lift up. Pull the left knee in. Reach up. And go down. And engage. Lift up. And go down. And lift up. And one more. And lift up. Put the foot down. Let's go ahead and reach the arms. Lift the heels. See if you can lift up even higher. Feel that under the butt muscles, all those muscles working in the front, stretching, and then slowly curl down. Now we're stretching down, but we're supported because you're really pulling the belly in all the way down. And from here, take the feet together, knees apart. Actually, you can leave your arms reaching at first. Let the knees open. Pull the ribs in a little bit so you're not just poking out. And let this be relaxing. So maybe now you want to take your arms out to the side. And you could stay here as long as you like in this restorative Supta Padottanasana. You could pause the video. But I'm going to take us now to our gentle closing with a supported inversion. So we could take the legs together. And if you wanted to, you could use a block, or you could put your legs up on a wall. Or you could just put your legs up. And this is nice though. It just feels very supported. So notice as your butt tucked under, you sticking out, find a nice medium. And you can feel the hamstring stretch here and the blood flow reverse, right? It's a nice inversion. So this is great if you wanted to stay here. But those of you who can, if it's not contraindicated because you don't have osteoporosis, we're gonna go ahead and take you over to plow pose. And lift the chin a little bit, feel the neck long. You can feel free to explore shoulder stand, long neck. I'm just going through this pretty quickly just to show you, so you could pause the video and take your time. Do whatever variations you want. I'm going to bend my knees for Karnapidasana. It feels nice. And then we're going to all meet back on the block or back with your legs up. Maybe you've been here the whole time and that's awesome. Breathe. Taking the feet down. I'm going to lift up off the block and shift my hips to the left. Take my arms out to the side. Let the knees come up. Take them over to the right. Notice how this left shoulder comes up. That's okay. I'm going to now turn gently my right ribs to the left, and it starts to ease its way down. Slow, not forced. Patience. And breathe. And then inhale, letting the legs come up. We're going to lift the hips up, shift them to the right this time. Let the knees come up, take them over to the left. Notice my right shoulder comes up, but that's okay because I'm just going to turn my ribs gently with my breath. Inhale to the right, exhale. And just let everything release. And then inhale and come back. And then go ahead and just hug in for a moment. And release. And come into Savasana. And stay in this place. Don't be in a hurry to go to the next thing. Be patient and open and surrender to that. And stay here as long as you like, and pause the video. But I'm going to go ahead and take us out, so just become aware of your breath. And you can slowly start to move fingers and toes. And in your own time, bending the knees and making your way to a fetal position, and pause there. Just pause there. And slowly making your way up to seated. Of course, taking your time and finding that nice seated position. And you notice we're at the same place we were when we started class. And just take a moment to notice the effect of the practice today on your body, your mind, your patience. And can you take that patience and let it resonate in everything you do? Namaste.